Hey everybody, my name is Mike Lowe, and I'm here today to challenge each and every person that's taking the time to watch this video to invest and purchase this book, Cracking the Code: The Fascinating Truth About Taxation in America by Peter Eric Hendrickson. My own personal experience with this book, I'm going to take you back to about 2016. I'm 37 years old, and my whole life I've been doing everything that I thought I was required to do until I found this book and read it, reread it some more, and this light bulb goes off. And the first thing I had to come to terms with was admitting that I was a person that was deceived by my own presumptions, my own upbringing, and all those people around me that have taught me that every April 15th we're required to take printed government forms and report all my private financial activities to some government agency and then freely sign away under penalties of perjury that I'm a person that's liable and subject to giving away 30% of all the earnings that I had for that year. Never read the code, never read the 9,000, 10,000 pages of Internal Revenue Code or the associated regulations or statutes that's published by Congress that we have, that we're required. And actually, you've always heard it where every man is presumed to know the law. Here I am, presumed to know the law, just signing away 30% of my earnings every year. It kind of hits a nerve with you. And you know, if you're one of them people, you know what that nerve is, and you know what that thought going through your mind is like, that deception that's been there, that no one to blame but yourself. But until you've actually been willing to stand back and admit that you maybe don't know everything you thought you did, and you start to ask the right questions, then you start to find the right answers. Another thing that I'd like to share with you in my own history is what's called cognitive dissonance. Is many people hearing what I'm saying to them right now about my experience with this book and the truth of what the taxation laws really is, will immediately not even consider what I'm saying to you could be even potentially true, that you could be a person, given your activities and what it is you're engaged in every year, if it's a common right activity or if it's an actual federal prerogative that you're exercising, it means the difference of you giving up 30% of your earnings or you getting back the 30% that you gave up because it was withheld from you. And I don't mean just the income, I mean the income and the FICA, the Medicare and the Social Security. All the examples that I could give you, or the experience that I could share with you on my own, it's totally irrelevant for this video that I'm making right now, because you can take the time, if you're so interested, and go to losthorizons.com. And you can see all the examples that they have on that website that people have published since 2003, I believe. Thousands, tens of thousands. But I'm here today to present this book and challenge every person that actually has a vested interest in his or her earnings every year. That is something that you hold dear to your heart as your right to livelihood and to labor and to make a living. And that living is yours. That is no one else's. No one else has a right to claim the property that you have earned in exchange for the labor and man hours that you vested for some company or corporation or for some other person. And you have a right to receive back 100% of everything that was wrongfully or erroneously, and by error is what I mean by erroneously. By error, someone withheld that property because they thought that they knew that what they were doing was actually obedient to the law as well. Just like you, for your entire life, have filed tax forms published by the agency, the IRS, from the Treasury Department. And every year you went and you report all of your personal, private, financial matters to an agency of government, and then sign under penalties of perjury that you believe everything that you have reviewed is complete, correct, and true to the best of your knowledge and belief. But you've never picked up that code. You've never read the 10,000 pages of the Internal Revenue Code. You've never read the regulations. You've never read the statutes. You've never studied any of the definitions of law that lead words into being terms. and understanding any of those differences, but you know, because you signed under penalties of perjury, that you said it was true and correct and complete to the best of your knowledge and belief, and you went right ahead and gave 30% of what was rightfully yours to someone else. That just, man, I tell you what, that hits a nerve with me. And when that nerve hit me in 2016, I tell you what, my whole life changed. Everything since then has been just a turnaround. And I have nothing but this book to thank for everything that I know today about the truth of the taxation laws in America. And I want each and every one of you to have the same experience I have, in the same gut-wrenching, just driven motivation to do what's right and to stand up for what's rightfully yours, that you're signing your name to. I mean, no one else, IRS didn't come to your house and hold a gun to your head or send agents to your doorstep and say, "Did you file them tax returns? You need to file them tax returns this year." No, they didn't do that. You went, you picked them up, and I guarantee almost 95% of you anyway, you go to some H&R Block or some TurboTax, or you pay some other person to do your taxes for you, and you have no concept whatsoever. And trust me, I was the same way. And I want you to be aware that the simplicity of what this book has to offer each and every one of us about what the tax laws really are and how we're supposed to abide by them lawfully. This isn't a gimmick. This isn't a joke. You have a right to 100% of everything that you ever had withheld from you. Income, Social Security, and Medicare, you have a right to receive 100% of that back. You go and take the time, purchase this book. You go to losthorizons.com. You review all the information. That is the Bible. If you want to know anything about tax law, you don't go to the irs.gov. You don't go anywhere. You go to losthorizons.com. and you study. You invest 4 or 5 years of your life and your time, like I have, and you learn everything that you possibly can that comes from what Pete publishes on his website, because there is no other place that you're going to find the information you need to do the things that I'm saying. And it's so simple. It's beyond simple to understand what the actual requirements are from you to stand up and take back what's rightfully yours. I appreciate everyone that's taken the time to watch this video, and forgive me for, I'm not the greatest blogger or person to talk in front of a camera, but I really want each and every one of you to experience what I have and the power that this book has to offer you. It's a simple read. You just got to reread it and reread it and reread it till you fully understand and comprehend. And once that light bulb goes off, you too are going to have the same revelation that I had in understanding the simplicity and truth that's found in the taxation laws in America. And you'll have that experience of what it's like to get back 100% of everything that you've ever paid in that year. And it's just, there's no words for it. I appreciate you taking the time to watch the video, and God bless everybody.